Call the meeting to order and start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, moving on to roll call.
Casey Benner.
Here.
Mark Buckeye.
Here.
Tom Hooper.
Here.
Whitney Tucker.
Here.
Bill Hart. We have quorum.
Okay, moving on to the agenda for tonight's meeting.
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
A second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Okay.
Moving on to the minutes from our last meeting of October 22nd of 2025.
I'll move we accept them as written.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second to approve the minutes. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, moving on to the introduction of evidence.
All right. We have the design guidelines, city ordinances, along with the staff reports and associated documents that I sent you early last week. That's all the evidence.
Make a motion to approve the evidence.
A second.
I have a motion and a second to accept the evidence. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Okay.
Moving on to old business.
So just an update, we selected SRI as our vendor for the mobile app walking tour. We had about an hour and a half webinar a week ago, and they're going to try and come to either our January or February meeting. That meeting will probably involve not only our regular meeting, but also a public meeting where folks can come and give input on a few different things. They're very excited. They're going to work with Aaron and Neve also. So Neve does some photography for us in addition to some other items to make sure they have some quality photography involved. And they're in the process of also looking at some of the historic photography that we have to see if they can use it in the app. One of the first things I sent them, you have a copy of this at your seat so you can take a look at it. We're going to take some feedback. We're going to get some feedback during that public meeting, whether that be January or February, on what will be the 30 notable properties that have audio. Here, Mark, I'm sorry. And what will be the 20 additional, since there's 50 properties total. This is just, me kind of looking through the historic district. They're not in any order, though the tour homes are mostly listed first. And then they asked me to put some indication of what is associated with this, because we don't want to make the entire mobile app about architecture. Sure, that needs to be involved, but can we also include some information about the art colony and maybe even some lore, in some of those. So you'll see that there's some letters out to the right of each property along with its street address. If you want to add to any of that, you can. Again, this is just a real tentative list. And then the houses that are highlighted in yellow, while they're important houses, they're either in disrepair or they're being rehabbed, so I just wanted to point that out to them. And then the ones that are highlighted in red or burgundy, pink, whatever you want to call it, are still significant, but they're not just a hop, skip, and a jump. If you stick to like the 10 or 12 blocks that are downtown, you could probably come up with 50 different stops, throw in the cemetery and some of those things. The ones that are, like I said, in red, pink, those you're going to have to walk a little further. It doesn't mean everyone's going to walk and take this tour. You could also drive or bike, but I just wanted to point that out. So that's where we're at. Once we talk later on in this meeting about our January and February meeting, I'll give them those dates, and when they select a time that they're going to come to town, probably spend a couple days here, I'll communicate that out to you all.
So, these houses, these are all of our homes with, the flags on it, right?
A majority of those.
Yeah, but I mean, this isn't a.
Not an
full list of
exhaustive
those.
list, no.
Okay.
It is not, it is not. So you're limited, so this is 30 properties. It could also be like, I put in here, you know, you could do the Felix Valley and then Mamie Shaw, and it could be one stop. You know? Or the Bolduc and the Lemire.
Right.
So that way we could get more properties included.
Right,
But
especially those that are tangent to
Yes.
each other.
But it's 30 audio, 30 notable properties are audio, have audio that will talk you through either the architecture or the historic preservation or the lore or who famous that live there. And then 20 additional properties will just be text and photography
Okay.
or artwork or whatever that ends up being. Keep in mind also, one of the things they wanted to stress to me is we're going to use the Esri story map, which is a free app. There'll be a QR code or a link either on the website or on City Mobile app on Visit St. John to get to it. But it's free. It's good. I've seen it from other cities, but it's going to be limited, the amount of data. The more data we put in it, the slower it's going to be, which means people won't take it. You know, they won't walk.
Right, right. To click on it and just sit there and keep going.
You know, you got that
Especially
little,
with our downtown, it doesn't have the
Right,
greatest.
I know. That's what I was getting ready to
some
say.
pictures have got to be just
Yes.
minimal.
And one of the, so they have 3 people that's working on this. One, she's an architectural historian. She might even have an archaeology degree. She's fascinating. She did archaeology work here in St. John in the Sling Creek area in the 1980s. So she's very excited to come back. There's another one that's a historian, and then there's a young woman who is very knowledgeable of GIS. So she's the one who's like, we gotta be careful how much, we can't put a dozen pictures at each stop or it'll just buffer all day
Right.
long. Yeah. That's my update.
Okay.
Thank you.
Moving on to new business.
So Mr. Monia contacted me today. He apologizes to the commission. He can't be here this evening, so he does not mind. If you have questions that I can answer, I certainly will, but if you table this until January.
I got to chat now. I would make a motion to table it, just so, you know, we can find out what the reveal is going to be.
Yeah, we don't have any of the
There wasn't
information of
anything
the,
No.
so yeah, thank you. I'll second that motion.
Okay, so I have a motion and a second to table until January. All in favor? Aye.
Okay.
Okay, and then next on new business is the FY 2025 Certified Local Government Report.
So I have a couple copies here if you want. I also sent it to you digitally. So this is the annual report that we have to turn in to SHPO that kind of talks about who's on the commission, how long they've been on the commission, how many decisions you all have made, any classwork or online work you've done to stay abreast of historic preservation. It's just, we have to turn this in every year to keep our CLG status, which of course makes us eligible for grants.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. That's all I have on that.
Okay, moving on to administrative approvals.
So you have 3 there. For some reason, here we go. One is 200 Market Street. So that is the old Stanton Wood mortuary for re-roofing. I believe it's for the flat roof, but Mr. Buckeye was asking me earlier about the rest of it, so I'll double check that. But it is not a contributing building. I know inside many an additional layer, there is a very historic building in there, but it has been built around and built around and built around, so it is not a contributing building currently. Next on the list is 170 Seraphim. So this is Mr. Walker, who has been before you before, asking to take off the standing seam and put asphalt shingles. And then we went through another meeting with him when he asked for a stipulation called unnecessary hardship. And we kind of talked about some other options there, and he has decided to go ahead and repair the areas of the roofing that need to be repaired and apply mule hide, so I went ahead and approved that.
Awesome, thank you, Dave.
You're welcome. And then lastly is 647 The Port, who has also been before you before. And we approved asphalt shingles, or architectural shingles, but in the diamond shape, I have worked, I don't know when that was, I have worked with the contractor for probably 6 months trying to find these shingles that were used over on Jefferson. Mr. Hart also gave me some other suggestions. Between the contractor and myself, no one will ship these shingles here. So some of them are available, like if you live on the West Coast or the Northwest. Some of them are available if you want to order them from China. So I went ahead and approved regular architectural shingles for this house. I reached out to the vendors myself, so in case you're wondering if I'm just relying on the contractor, who is very trustworthy, I double checked. So
It's unfortunate, but
it is
it is what it
unfortunate.
is.
That's all I have.
Any other business?
So typically, January and February meetings are moved. A January meeting lands on MLK, and February meeting lands on President's Day, so I just want to make sure it's okay if we move both those meetings to the fourth Monday, which would be the 26th of January and the 23rd of February. They'll probably have to be earlier because that is also typically the night that the park board meets.
It's fine with me.
Okay,
I don't have anything.
good.
Yep, so far.
Until,
It could change, but
just,
everything's good, yeah.
until January. And that's all I have in other business.
How much earlier do you think you're gonna have to have that, David?
Usually, I think in the past we've done 5:30. If that'll work.
Isn't the,
Park board meets at 6:30?
yeah, I think you're right. Yep.
Okay.
Okay. No
No
public
public
comments?
comments. And happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to you all. Thank you all very much.
Same to you.
That's all I got.
Yep. We
Look
can
at that.
adjourn.
Meeting adjourned.
Where's your gavel?